fishing through the movieverse tonight. Chasing aliens, bad plots, and CGI that ain't quite right. Dave leads the charge with the captain's command. John's the rookie, still learning where to land. Shane drops beats that walk through time. Chad fixes tech with precision so fine. The Sci-Fi Guys. The Sci-Fi Guys.
Hello, and we are the Sci-Fi Guys. Whoever's the Sci-Fi Guys? Well, I'm Dave, and with me is...
I'm Shane. Good evening, everybody.
I was going to say, we also have audio on here too, dude.
Yes, we do. But I have to do my salute. It's what I do.
Hey guys, I'm Chad.
Hi, I'm John, the Baptist. Ironically, it's still true. Just not the one shouting naked in the wilderness. It's fine.
Are you like you eat locusts for your dinner?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty tasty bugs, you know.
Oh, it's going to be one of these episodes, isn't it?
Probably.
I'm just in a goopy mood. I'm sorry. This is what
You
happens
guys
when
are.
I get
I mean,
woken
I
up
said,
at 2
I told them
a.m.
earlier
and then
offline.
4
I said,
a.m.
Go ahead. Keep going. You're talking.
Oh, well, no, that was it. I just got woken up at 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., so I'm in a goofy mood. And we have also discovered, Dave, because of your I'll be back in a minute, that I have about a 3 or 4 second lag. Like,
Real?
it has now been timed. So
That's crazy.
That must be on your end, I guess, because everyone else is fine.
Yeah, it's syncing pretty well on this end anyway.
Oh, mine
It's
is
probably
always.
because he's using his phone as a camera. So
well, not anymore.
I'm-
This is all MacBook camera now.
Apple. See,
Whoop, whoop.
here's Mac, Apple.
see, I can't use the camera that's on my MacBook because it's garbage. So
What was that? Dave?
Better lighting.
oh no, the camera on my MacBook is horrible.
Oh, no, I don't think they heard you right.
Yeah, Chad. Yeah.
Okay,
Can
here
we
you go.
mute them?
Ready? Here you go. Ready?
Bye bye.
And there's my camera on my MacBook.
Yeah, it's 'cause it's so
Whoa!
dark in there.
Okay. And
We're
now
going off
here's
screen.
the camera on my USB.
Listen, I take away my light, my camera sucks too. The point is you got to have light.
Well, I've got a light. Well, I got a light. It's one of those ring looking light thingies. So who
For
knows?
all of our folks in YouTube land, you are seeing a lot of the behind the scenes that you didn't sign up for.
Yeah, all of our audio listeners now are like, man, what are these guys doing? I can't see any of this. This is junk.
Hey, just to describe this, it's behind the scenes. Dave showing how the MacBook is not suffice as a USB webcam.
Okay, please turn him off. Please.
You give me other ammo when you go to that one.
Look, oh, I had this discussion with Mac from those Sci-Fi Guys because his PC crashed.
Oh,
Chad. So and I was like, are you gaming? No. I said, you may want to consider getting a Mac. He's like, maybe. I'm going to stick with a PC because I know it.
Mac
And
needs
that's
a
what
Mac.
most PC users are, is because they don't want to switch over because they don't know how to use a Mac. The only real difference between them is you have a command button rather than control. Like Control C.
I'm gonna look in the
Control
camera.
V.
Mac, you need a Mac.
Don't listen to them. They go down the dark side. They're the dark side of the family over here. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
not. I'm on both sides. It's creative
Yeah.
stuff. Mac does win. Now, power users and gamers, sure, PC wins all day. It just depends on the use case. But you cannot tell me a Mac Mini is not a great server, Chad.
Nope. Sorry. I'll go to Linux distro on that.
Yeah, but that's not PC. That's Linux.
I didn't say. I said I won't go with
My
Mac.
point is
I go with Linux.
Different
distro.
use cases.
We better
I don't
get
use a
started 'cause
hammer
we
for everything.
would never get to this movie. We keep talking about this. All right.
I agree.
I was just going to say,
We're
I use
chasing
both.
rabbits.
There's on right here next to me. Actually, is my video for my school bus thing is rendering right now. So I use that for that, and I use it for my server with all of my movies, and then I use my Mac for this. So I use them both. But
I can get around on Mac. Don't get me started. It's just the thing is if I gotta go with a foreign distro, I go with Linux. It's freeware. I can make it as powerful as I want.
okay, all right. I'm looking at my. There we go. I gotta pull up the thing. Okay, well, I'm not gonna have us do a welcome because I think that was long enough.
I think we handled that.
I think we all kind of talked about that a lot.
Mhm.
Okay, who picked this movie out? It was
Me. It was me.
there.
There you go.
Okay, Shane, give us a plot summary.
Okay. So I have to do this in my best Dave voice. You ready? Here we go.
Hold
team of
on,
science-
wait. Let me find you. Let's make you full screen. Go.
A team of scientists follows ancient star maps to a distant moon, hoping to meet the beings who created humanity. Instead, their search for answers unleashes a terrifying discovery about mankind's origins and its possible extinction.
Dude, that sounds more like Kirk than me.
Kirk.
Come on.
Talk about.
It didn't
that,
sound like
you know.
Dave.
It didn't sound. If you want to talk like Dave, you need to have a little bit of a more of a baritone in your voice, a little bit of bass in there, get a little bit of the lower end.
What are you
Dave
trying to
said
say,
bass.
Dave? What are you trying to say? Come on now.
Man. Man. You make it.
I never said it was a good impression.
Yeah, it was an impression. I agree with it. It was funny today. I was getting into a spare bus and I was like, I kept getting this light on and I'm like, what is this for? And I called the dispatcher and she's like, yeah, the mechanic says put your big boy pants on and push hard on the brakes and the light will go out. And I'm like,
That's funny.
okay then.
That's funny.
Push hard. Okay.
I'm like, I'll push hard, and then it worked. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's all it was,
Take up a can to fix the brake.
Yeah. So we are doing the movie Prometheus this week, prequel to Alien and Aliens and all those.
If you didn't get it by the director of Ridley Scott.
Yeah. Okay, we are going to go ahead and do our Metacritic. Right now, currently, John is way behind. Hopefully, maybe he can make some up tonight. Shane is at John is at 1, Shane's at 2, and Chad is like leading the way with 4. Although
Wait, did you
Chad
say
is
I'm number
the
1?
Yeah,
What?
you're number 1.
I'm number
No,
1.
You have one.
One.
You
Aw.
have one.
Odomas.
See what? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, all right, we are going to let me do this. Remove from the studio. Okay. So let me get on the right screen, and I'm going to start with. Let's start with Shane. Shane, what did you rate, or what did Metacritic say about this movie?
Well, I'm going to say, and I'm probably way off on this, but I'm going to say a solid 70.
70. Okay. John.
81.
81. Chad.
For this is, I don't know. I get into more. I'm gonna say 65. I don't think it deserves any higher than that.
5. Okay. And the winner is a 64.
Dang.
I'm fighting Chad.
How?
It's on site the next time I see Chad.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Get ChatGPT off your phone. You're looking at your phone, looking at ChatGPT.
My phone is black.
Doesn't mean he didn't look at the website earlier.
Grief.
I'm on the
Gee,
last thing I looked at.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so
You
Chad's
can't
leading the way.
you can't fight the greatness.
Jeez.
Although, let's see here. Let me look back at this. Who Who has never? None of us have ever seen this movie according to our
Yeah.
spreadsheet.
I never
So-
seen this movie. It's first time
Until
seeing
now.
it, and up till now, I was sitting there like it got me lost for a while till the end when I realized what it was about.
There was some of that. I agree. There was some of that.
So
Yeah.
that's why I didn't go any higher than 65.
Okay. Well, let's.
Well,
talk
apparently
about
you were right within one.
Yeah. Let's talk about this movie then. Let's go ahead. Let's start with the special effects. What'd you guys think?
I think the special effects was good. It was great for the time, and it really. I'm trying to think what movie can compare this to.
When did this come out?
12?
2012.
Yeah, 2012. So really the thing is they put a prequel out to when the Xenomorphs came out, but you had Alien versus Predator game out there, and then they hunted the Xenomorphs. So did they really hunt the Xenomorphs? I don't know, but the special effects, it was good for what it was. With how the yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. What they did for it was good. It's probably one of the things that kind of kept me interested to see what other effects are going to throw out there.
All right. Let me just throw this out there. Any of the Alien versus Predator stuff are not considered canon. So throw all those out. Because I was looking at some stuff. I was like, well, wait, what about? And then, yeah, any of the AVP are not considered canon. So at least for the Predator, I'm pretty sure for Alien, the same thing. You know, they're all just
a game
fun movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fun movies. Somebody else.
Okay, I gave it the 3 to 4 delay, so I will go. So looking at movies that came out in 2012, Chad, you have hits like Dark Knight Rises, The Avengers, The Hunger Games. So I think you're spot on in saying for the time, I think it hits the mark. Because if we all went back and watched the actual Avengers movie in terms of CGI, of all the Avengers films, probably not the greatest, but still good. Like you don't really notice it per se. Like you know it's CGI, but you don't necessarily. It's not in your face, kind of like The Flash was the last one that came out. When you definitely were like, that's CGI, and it kind of sucks. And so I think for the time, CGI wise was great. Overall world building, I'm fine with. I just wish they had done more than really 2 locations. I mean, really, you had the ship, and then you had the ship that was on the other planet. And outside of that, you didn't necessarily have a whole lot. And I think they could have leaned into more locations a little bit more. I understand the plot, which we'll talk about too, didn't necessarily lend itself to more spots. I don't know. I just would have liked to have seen it showcased more. They had the skill, they had the technology, they used it well for what they did use it for. I think I would have liked to seen more CGI. I think from what I can tell, there were some practical effects as well. Where there might have been, I like the practical side of it, but you can definitely tell they use CGI substantially, and they did fine with it. I'm okay with that. I just wish they had leaned into it more and done more world building.
Shane, how about you?
So I agree. I think that the overall sense of realism I really felt was there. I think they did a really good job with that in making it feel like this was something that was actually plausible. I agree with John. I think it needed more when you're talking about the worlds they were going to. I think you needed more of an expansive view. But I don't think it was bad. I think that they did a really good job for the time. Obviously, when you think about the other movies like the Avengers, like the Dark Knight Rises, I think all of these they're very similar as far as the effects go, and I think they did a good job with it.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I mean, you know, this movie kind of reminded me of The Martian. You know, where
it just seemed on a bigger
plot-wise,
scale.
but the special effects, you know, I kind of got that. It just that The Martian was kind of more of the red and orange color palette. This was more of the gray and like a dark blue, you know, scale. You know, but it just reminded me similar. There were similarities of the two. But yeah, I mean, for what it was for CGI, I thought it was fine. I hate to use the word fine because when I say fine, sometimes it comes across as, oh well, he didn't really like it. It was good for 2012. It was good. It
Yeah.
Agree.
here it is 2026 and it's still entertained. It's still
Yep.
it still has lasted this long, and it's not one of those things that you're just like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. I mean, in our intro song, we've seen some bad CGI. All right, we have some bad CGI coming up, I guarantee it. All right, so I would not consider this bad CGI at all.
No, it's not bad.
No.
Yeah. Okay, what do y'all think of let's go to the music. What do you think of the music? I thought it was pretty good, actually. I mean, it was upbeat and dark at times when it
Very
needed to
dark.
be. I just thought it was well placed. I wouldn't
Yes.
say it was, like when I think of older James Bond movies, you get that, right when it was, and things like that where you're getting the main theme at the pinnacle of what's going to happen. You're not going to get that in this because they don't want to give it away by the music. So I think they did a very good job with it personally.
Yeah, I agree with that, Dave, because the music didn't set a tone, didn't kind of give away moments of what what it is. But I love it how he used the music as coming in, like when it needed and when it needed silence, it was there. So he used it very great to his advantage for what this movie was supposed to be about. So,
John?
I mean, yeah. I don't necessarily think so. I'm not gonna lie. I watched this probably way earlier than I should have, and the music isn't necessarily the most memorable because shortly after this, I finished The Dark Knight, rewatching it, and so I'm getting some of the Joker theme in my head when I'm thinking of this movie, and that's bad because I was thinking of the strong strings from that movie. However, for Prometheus. I think this idea that it slotted in and it fit the suspense, I think, is key. It didn't necessarily lead you along the story so much. Like you said, Dave, it didn't slot itself in so you knew something big was coming. But as something big happened, it built with it. And I think that's very important in storytelling, is to not spoil yourself with the music so much as let's let the music build with the moment. And I think throughout the film, it did that well. And at times where it wasn't needed, it wasn't playing. And at times when it helped build the story, it was building. So I think it did what it was intended to do.
I agree. So one of the interesting things first off, a little background on this. So the film composer was a guy by the name of Mark Straitenfeld, and he has collaborated with Ridley Scott on several movies, including American Gangster, Body of Lies, Robin Hood, The Counselor, all of those. And for this one in particular, he did something very, very interesting that I read about that I thought was very, very odd, but I think it fits this movie. When he wrote first off, he used a 90-piece orchestra. That's a big orchestra, y'all. Very big. And what happened was when he wrote the orchestral passages, he wrote them backwards. So whenever the orchestra performed them, you had all of the crescendos and decrescendos, louder and softer and everything like that, in odd places. So it didn't really fit. The swells and everything, the louds and the softs, didn't really fit in the right place. And what he did the reason he did that was because he wanted this to seem otherworldly, and he really wanted it to seem very uncomfortable, which especially I'm thinking specifically about the scene when they go into the temple where the big head is. You think about just the tension and the discomfort that was in that particular scene. that was partially because of what he did with the music, where everything was backwards and kind of out of place. So it seemed kind of familiar, but very, very odd and very tense. Like nothing was ever settled. So for that reason, I think he did a very, very innovative job with it. But I don't think it's anything that you would automatically recognize as, man, this is amazing. But when you kind of dig into it, you see some really, really cool things that he did.
Yeah, I cannot disagree with that at all. So what y'all think of the cast? I thought they were fine. I thought Elba did a good job.
Elba was in a great place where he was.
Yeah, I mean for
Yes.
For the role that they had written for him, or that was written, he was a good for that. I liked the lead actress. What's her name?
I can't think
Talking
of
about the
it.
doctor or the
Shaw.
Shaw.
Yeah, Naomi. What is it? Rapace. I think she did a really phenomenal job on it.
Now, get this. How many movies we've seen with robots or some kind of thing is Dave?
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
that.
Yeah, but that's HAL 9000. This guy's
Yeah.
name is David,
Yes.
not Dave. See, I'm
Yes.
Dave.
You still semantics.
Hey,
I enjoyed David. I thought he was a very, very well played character. Very complex character for an android.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. How did he keep talking with the head off?
That's it. Because he had a voice box in there. I don't know.
Because it's where the computer is. The body's just a body. The body just carries the head. Even
You
for
notice the body was moving when she was lowering it, right?
Wi-Fi, Bluetooth,
Bluetooth.
I'm sorry. I'm parking. I'm like, pop. Let's try this.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, for me, the cast was fine overall. I agree with that sentiment. Like, I don't think they were out of this world in terms of acting or anything like that, but they weren't bad either. Like, they were the cast. They fit their parts, and I think that's, for any movie, I think that's really what you can ask for. In this one in particular, like, there wasn't necessarily a crazy, I don't know, outshining performance from anyone. I think everyone just fit the role well, which for me, I kind of prefer sometimes, because sometimes you run yourself into a rut of you have someone who does outshine the rest of the cast because they're a little too good. And I don't think you necessarily see that here either, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a, home run out of the park cast where everybody's perfect, but they fit the role well enough.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. Okay, what did y'all think of the plot or story?
Now this here, let me
Jump
tell
in.
you, I'm confused. And I think that's the biggest part. From the very beginning, when we have this guy just drinking black stuff and just fading away into nothingness, and then all of a sudden we're in the future, and we've been told nothing about this guy throughout the rest of the film. What?
That's the music.
So one of the things I was going to send y'all, and I forgot to. There is a YouTube video that kind of breaks down some of this stuff. There were a lot of deleted scenes that were not put into the movie that should have, that really explain about the creators and how they got to where they are and why they have the black goo and they worship the alien thing and all that. It really explains a lot of that, and there's a lot of scenes that weren't put into the movie that really
But they should have been dead.
they should have been.
They weren't put
I mean,
in, and it was
But they-
confusing as mess.
They should have been.
and I was gonna say, I'm with John. We've got to look at the movie on basis of what we watched, not
Agreed.
deleted scenes that weren't were
Shane,
only features or what.
That should have
I
been brought
agree.
up in how to fix it, not when we're talking about the storyline and the plot.
Yes, I was just saying that was originally supposed to be in there, but I agree it was a mistake that it was not.
Yeah. Well, most of your deleted, a lot of deleted scenes explain things away that need to be explained.
Mhm.
But that's just about. I mean, this movie to me I was lost.
there was
Honestly,
a lot of that.
on a lot of this movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the first thing John. First thing I'm sitting in my recliner watching. I'm like, why is he drinking that? And then all of a sudden now his DNA, he burns up and then it changes. What?
Yeah. It
So,
just, I didn't track.
I had to look it up.
And then having David was on a separate mission or something. Where he was there to make sure that the billionaire guy got to meet the architects or mechanics or whatever the heck they were called.
whatever they-
Engineers, and why did he go and get the alien thing and put it in the guy's drink? I mean, I didn't understand that.
Yeah,
I know that model David. They remember it freaks out in Alien or Aliens or whatever the one he was in the first one, right? Alien, wasn't he?
I think so.
I'm rusty on that now. It's been a
Yeah.
couple years.
Yeah, it's been a couple years. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. They did that, but I don't know. I was lost on a lot of this. But yeah, we'll definitely. There's a lot to fix.
The storyline could use a lot of help. The plot, yeah, it got me lost. The only thing that kept me interested is just I know I had to finish watching it. I would have turned it off about halfway through. I'm like, all right, I'm done. They could have shortened this movie enough to make it or put something in there to keep you interested and not the long dramatic, like the pauses in between where nothing was going on is what was the lull of this movie was the death of it.
I just didn't understand the why on a lot of this stuff. Why things were happening. Why did David put this creature in the guy and then he magically impregnates his wife, who hasn't been able to have children before, I mean, things like that. I just don't understand why, the whole why aspect of it and all that, and then that wasn't even an alien. It was some other thing with multiple tentacles. I mean,
But
this
the thing is,
was supposed to be the prequel to Alien.
You didn't get that to the very end when the creature, whatever that was, made it with the engineer. Then here comes the xenomorph. I'm sorry. That's you could have explained it. Why were the engineers running into the place with the head and all those crazy tubes oozing black? Just stuff like that. The Dave, I think Dave had an alternative motive. He was like he wanted to be free of this master, free of the millionaire trying to do his own thing. So,
but he's a robot. If he's a robot, he's supposed to do what he's programmed to do.
We all know they made him free thinking because he was sitting there learning how to study ancient language.
Well, if he would have been made with a Mac, then it wouldn't have happened.
That was not being a Mac. The Mac and that PC could do this. But the thing is
Cheers.
Sorry. Hey, we're having fun with this.
The thing is, it's just like we're all seeing how if you get a robot or something free thinking, you everybody thinks Terminator, or you got iRobot, or you got or now you got David.
Dave.
I'm Dave. That's David.
They called him Dave in this movie too. Don't get me
called him
started.
David. Okay, whatever.
But
yeah, he was freak show.
Thing is, he was about the only one that kept you a little interested to try to see what he was up to. So,
Very sneaky.
yeah, he was very. I think he was more the villain of this movie, not the savior.
Well, I put him as the villain in our spreadsheet because I didn't know you couldn't put him as a side character because he did so much.
He was a villain. How do you know how to speak the language or operate the door
and how to fly the ship.
Yeah, it's so many questions what he was doing. It doesn't make sense. Not in this movie. Not what he was supposed to be there for.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just trying to. Okay. So, Alien Covenant was done after this movie, and then Alien Romulus. I don't know if they are.
Yeah, connected.
If they actually explain any more. I don't know. Has anyone?
I don't know.
Don't know.
I haven't seen any of those.
I haven't either.
So you know that I haven't.
I
Yeah.
haven't said that I had a chance to watch.
Well, I just don't know if it's even worth watching.
Is it?
You know, that's
Are
my
they
question.
coming out with another AVP movie coming out soon?
No, they
Alien
just came out
versus-
with the latest Predator movie. I don't think they're coming out with another AVP anytime soon.
Mm-mm.
They may. I mean, you can look it up and see if they are or not. But they just came out with Predator Badlands last year, so
Mm-hmm.
who knows? Okay, let's go ahead and rate this movie. Okay, we are going to rate this movie on a scale of 0 to 5 lightsabers. Shane picked this movie, so he gets to go first.
Oh joy. So there was a lot in this movie that I felt could what? I haven't even said anything in Chad's over there choking. There was a lot in this movie that really I think could have been spectacular. When you're thinking about the worlds they created, the creatures they created, the action, the overall world building, I think was very, very good. We talked about the special effects and CGI were good, especially for the time. The music was very innovative. The only thing was the plot brought it down extremely low because, like we just talked about, there was a lot that wasn't answered and a lot that was left for confusion. So I think that because of that, I think I can't rate this very high simply because there was a lot that wasn't answered. So I am going to actually rate this at a 2.5.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay,
I'll
Chad.
start. Well, Shane, I thought you would give this a 3 or at least 3.5 because, but that's not going to be me. It's never going to be me. This movie needed a lot of help to keep you interested. Besides David, and the music, how they used it. Other than David and the music is the only reason it gets a point. 1 point, una más point from me.
One more point. One more point than what?
One. John, how about you?
For me, I got to base it off the fact that I was so entertained. I might be simple-minded, which is probably why I was confused. But I was entertained. I did enjoy the film as a whole. I did like the almost like, oh, here's the late introduction of how this actually ties into everything else, at least in the sense of here's the actual alien. The world building was nice. The space theme's nice. The action where it happens is nice. CGI is decent enough. So I can't give it as bad as some of our other films that we have in the past. But it probably lands somewhere around a 2 for me.
Okay. Wow. Did I ever tell y'all? Did you guys ever watch those Sci-Fi Guys after we did?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
And they were like, "If you don't rate it a 4, you're not going to be my friend."
Yeah.
We're like,
I
"Well, at
won
least
that
John
time."
can be our friend."
Yeah. John was their only friend.
'Cause we all agreed it.
John was the only friend.
I I'm not going to be as harsh as Chad was, because I mean there was some parts that were enjoyable. I just was extremely confused, and I think if I didn't know it was part of the Alien franchise, I would have rated this lower. Probably. I'm going to give it a 1.5 because
It's only a half point more than me. Come on now.
it's only a half point lower than John. So, what's your point? No, I mean, I went back and looked at. I mean, I Am Legend. I gave a 2. And I would rather watch I Am Legend than watch this. The big problem with I Am Legend was you take Will Smith out of that movie, and it's not a good movie. So, yeah. Then this one is okay. I guess we're gonna. Yeah, there was just too many questions, especially that. I mean, that's the problem with doing prequels. A lot of times, is where the end needs to go, and now you have to box everything and fit it into that realm.
Mhm.
And I'm just not sure they had a clear direction of what they want. I mean, this was supposed to be the Alien prequel. We saw a total of about 3 seconds of the Alien, and we basically found humanity, supposedly the engineers of humanity, not the engineers of the aliens. Yet they said they made a bioweapon and they were going to wipe everything. I mean, I was extremely confused on, why things were happening the way they were. Yeah. Chad, Shane, you got some questions for us. Let's go with your questions.
I do. Okay. So the first question is kind of an overall scope. So it says, what does Prometheus say about humanity's need for answers, and can the search for truth become dangerous?
Very dangerous if you go down any. I mean, it doesn't matter how you take the scope of the thing, wherever you research trying to go for answers. It can get very dangerous for humans because we are very inquisitive, very curious creatures. I want to know where we come from, how do we get here, and how do we fit stuff. It can get dangerous in that route, and you saw it in this where the millionaire programmed a robot to carry on secondary missions alongside the current mission. And you saw how that went with him testing on humans to see what this would do. Because you heard the millionaire said, "Oh, if they can kill me, I want to live forever." So
I don't think it's so much the movie, Shane. I'm going back to the initial thing of your question. It says, what does the movie say about humanity's needs for answers? I think we just as humans need answers. I mean, that's one of the things that the four of us both all spoke earlier is, okay, why were they doing this? What was that? We were just inquisitive. We want to know. And, as we said, those were some of the fallings of this movie, that they didn't answer a lot of questions and they just had us asking why more often. And I think that's the way we're wired. We want to know why. What's one of the questions that a 2-year-old always asks? Why? And a lot of times they just do it to be annoying, but sometimes they really, I mean, they are inquisitive. They want to know how things are. I remember as a kid, taking apart watches and stuff, just to see how they operate. At least that's how I was wired. And how it can be dangerous is when you take that next step of, okay, instead of just asking the questions, to building a spaceship and flying to meet them. That is where it gets dangerous. If they would have stayed on Earth and just been happy. Okay, we're happy. We're good. We're here. We're doing this. We're doing that. And then just pressed on with their lives. No, it would have been fine. But the moment they step out and want to search
Mhm.
for the truth, especially the way they did. They did not, go back to Alien in 1979, where they were like, no, I can't let him in, and yet these people are letting people come into the ship just because they're hurt. I mean, and this is stupid. So,
Well, you had one reasonable person on there. They didn't want to let the person in that got infected.
yeah, but anyone that's been around them too,
See, I kind of agree with it. No matter what, I agree with the fact that it's dangerous. I think the danger doesn't necessarily lie in the search. I think it lies more in when do we transition from the search to trying to emulate that, I don't know, the process that would give us the answer. In other words, like for creation, for example, I think searching out creation answers is not dangerous. But the moment we try to play creator in order to answer the question of how we were created, I think that's where it gets dangerous, because we start to take things in our own hands. So in a sense, yes, that idea of let's build a spaceship, go across space and find our creators. The danger is in following the process to the point that you place yourself in that danger. So that's more of where I find the danger. And I think Prometheus does a good job of projecting that idea, because that's what lands him in danger, is becoming the process instead of just focusing on finding the answer.
Mhm. I agree.
what about you?
I really don't have anything to add. I think that's exactly it. I think it's just where it gets bad is not necessarily the search for answers. It's when you will do anything necessary to find those answers. And I think that's the problem.
Well, that's what David did too.
That's what David did. Yep.
Well, I think David could have took the theme from Spock to meet the needs of the many, outweigh the needs of the few,
Or the one.
of the one.
Yeah, but he initially was doing it for the one.
Yep. He was. Okay, question 2. Speaking of David spends the voyage studying human behavior through movies. What film would you recommend to teach him what it's really like to be human?
The Princess Bride. It has everything you need. It has romance. It has comedy. It has adventure. Exactly. Fighting, storytelling, everything that you need to be human is right there in that film.
I told him what told you.
Puzzles.
You killed my father.
You fell prey to one of the classic blunders.
All right.
It's full of quotable moments. I'm telling you, David would be living life, man. He'd know everything.
I don't know. I'm going to be a hopeless romantic on this. I thoroughly enjoyed with Casablanca, the story and all that.
Good choice.
It's just you get the love heart person and faulting the girl that hurt him was coming back in his life, and he had so I would think you get a lot from that. So
fair. The movie that took me forever to understand the last quote, but then I finally got it and it was great. Here's looking at you, kid. Yeah. That one took me a while to understand, but I got it.
Kid.
Well, I'm going to get a little spiritual here, I guess. Facing the Giants.
Ooh,
that's
another good choice.
Just because we don't know how much we can do when we're constantly, I'm thinking of when there was the scene where they were like, okay, we want you to do what they call it, the death crawl, or
death crawl.
Yep.
Basically, they take another person, they sit them back, and then they have to crawl. And they were like, okay, and he did it for like 10 yards or whatever, 5 yards, and then he's like, okay, I'm going to blindfold you now. And then he's like, I need you to give me your best.
Mhm.
Don't worry about what everybody else is thinking. Don't worry about anything else. I need you to give me your best. And then he ends up doing the entire football field. He did 100 yards of a death crawl. And then, he's like, and a kid that was 200 pounds, he's like, actually, I'm 260, and that just shows you, he put his faith in something else, and he was not blinded by sight, he wasn't, his sight is what was things he saw is what was actually keeping him away from what he needed to do. So,
Yep.
I don't know. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. So I can sit there and watch it.
It's a great one.
From it. It's just great,
Yeah.
And it shows also the compassion of humanity. When he couldn't afford a car, and then next thing you know, boom, someone gives him a truck. The coach.
Yep.
And it's like,
Yep.
And what and then that field goal at the end, where it's like, I can't kick that far, and he's like, that's just you saying you can't do it. Can God do it? Yes, he can.
Yep.
Do you believe God can do it? Yes, I do. Then trust him.
Mhm.
Yep. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about you, Shane?
I'll mention two of them actually. First off, if you want family, if you want drama, if you want action, if you want romance, if you want the total package, you got to go with The Godfather. Okay.
What's that mean? He's sleeping with the fishes.
I said, I'm
Now-
not sure I want old Sir Android to know that.
Well, that's why I have the second
Hey.
one. That's why I have the second one. If you really want humanity, where it's just comedy and chaos, you go with Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
There you
Oh.
go. Or here's this: if you want to really go down that road, let them watch it. Scarface.
Oh no, that's a little too much. That's a
Let's
little
just
Say hello
listen.
to
Go
my
big or
little
go home on the comedy. Forget Monty Python, Spaceballs.
bit. Okay, Spaceballs, yeah. A little too on the nose. A little too on the nose.
Yeah.
Oh no, what was it? We watched this. It was one of John's movies, crazy movies. The Zorgons and the Ultimate Question.
Oh, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That's confusing.
Yeah. Definitely not The Godfather, though.
Now, if you can go with Godfather, you gotta go with Godfather. Godfather's great, but if you want to go with that, you gotta go with when he kills his cat.
Does that teach them really what it means to be human?
Teach them how to run a mob,
whole
the family business, the business.
It's one of the greatest movies ever. Come on now.
Come on now. Hey, you want to watch the TV
But
show? TV
I'm going by
series?
your question. Your question said about human behavior.
I
You
know.
really want
Listen. Am I wrong that is how humans behave? Am I wrong?
you're not wrong, but I'm just saying.
That's not what I want to teach him, though.
I
No.
agree, but I'm just saying. Am I
What's that
wrong?
mean?
Am
That
I
means-
wrong?
Look at Gracia slipping with the fishes.
I never said good behavior. I just said behavior.
Disclaimer: I've never actually watched The Godfather. I just know the reference.
Oh,
What? Here. I'm going to
On.
quote your question. What film would you recommend to teach him what it really means to be human? Just, I'm just
And
saying.
am I wrong?
I'm just saying.
Not what you should be. If it's what you should be, I go with
You're
yours.
You're going to recommend
Where
it?
it's
hey,
if it's how humans should behave, I'm going to go with yours with facing the giants. If it's how they really are, I'm going to go with mine.
all right. So let's do this. Let's put it to the viewers. John, if you want the viewers, if you want John to watch The Godfather, at least Godfather 1 and 2, like and subscribe or comment to tell him to watch those two movies.
Or be vaporized.
Well, actually, we're running a little bit
Well, that's
long-winded
fine.
today, but
Imagine that.
let's all figure a quick way to fix this movie, though, or improve it. I could tell you one of the things. First of all, don't be stupid and run like a stormtrooper in this straight line. You know, when the thing is rolling, going one way, it's falling this way, then run that way or run that way. You know, don't go straight and then get crushed.
It makes the movie.
I actually thought that she was going to be. See, now I do want to know what happens to her.
Yeah.
You know, to her and David. Now, is there, you know,
the last bit of the movie?
She hasn't even had time to grieve over her husband dying. You know, it's been boom, 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 nonstop. So I would like to see that. I think that would. I don't know if that's what's next in any of these other movies. I'll be interested. I guess I need to look to see at some point, or we can put them on the future
on the watch list.
Movies to watch eventually. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that give us more answers quicker in the movie than dragging it out and waiting to show us. I mean, the alien should have been the baddie from day one. You know, to me, instead of that other thing, here would have been a great. Here would have been a great. Okay, the engineers they wanted to build this weapon because they needed it for self-defense or something, and then it got loose. It created itself. It started self-replicating, and boom, it wiped us out. That would have been a better movie than what we got. You know.
Yeah.
Instead of, hey, we're the engineers and we wanted to do this other weapon, and then when this other weapon got inside of us, then it made this alien. You know, it's like what?
Yeah.
You know,
what the thing is I agree with that, Dave. Is you see Dave operating the touching and see holograms, them running away and going into the room. What are they running away from? Who are they running away from? I mean, but the thing is shorten the time up, shorten the downtime of them not doing anything. They just sitting there and just probably instead of a 2-hour movie, make it an hour and a half. Cut 30 minutes off this movie. You probably made everybody happy on this movie. It probably made it a 2 for me if it was an hour and a half, not 2.
Yeah, maybe. Anybody else?
So I have nothing special to add. My 3 words were just going to be answer the questions.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I mean that's the big thing. Answer the questions that we have. You know, why did Dave do what he did? You know, or have him contacting someone back Earth or something. You know, where you've actually got a real villain instead of we sort of have a villain. You know. That's why I'm looking forward to when we watch 2010 this year, because now we're going to get a new crew is going to go out there and eventually find the Discovery, and then they're going to deal with Hal again.
Again.
So,
sorry, Dave, I can't do that.
Yeah. All right, is that it, Shane? You got anything else?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, everyone, we appreciate everyone. Once I find where my mouse went to, there it is. So I got like 2 or 3 screens here, so it was over on the other screen. Anyway, you guys need to come back next week. Next week, we are going to have those sci-fi guys on. We're going to have a crossover with them. It's going to be fun. It's going to be we are going to review a movie, and everyone's like, okay, let's get this over with.
No, I was trying to go for the slow so I'd hit it just right as you said goodbye, but then you did this whole with those sci-fi guy things that I didn't know was coming. Well, I knew the crossover was, but I didn't know you mentioning it was, and so I was already there. I had already committed to the bit.
He committed to it.
Okay, it's gonna be more of this probably next week. Okay,
probably.
Until next time, everybody.
Crash and burn.
The Sci-Fi Guys is an independent broadcast and is not affiliated with this movie or TV series. We would love to hear from you. Please contact us by leaving a comment below or by emailing us thesciFiGuys@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, or share this podcast with someone else who enjoys science fiction.
subscribe, or be vaporized.